Christmas dinner, my sister's kid said, "Mom says you should serve, not eat." Everyone laughed. I left. Mom texted, "Stay away." I replied about the payments. At Christmas dinner, my sister's 8-year-old shoved his plate toward me and said, "Mom says you should serve, not eat." The whole table laughed. I picked up my coat, walked out, and drove home in silence. That night, Mom texted, "You ruined Christmas. Stay away from us." I replied, "Sure." The mortgage, the insurance, and Nora's tuition payments stay away too. By midnight, 61 missed calls. My sister Nora has treated me like a help since we were kids. I'm the older one. I've always been the responsible one. When Dad left, I was 16, and I picked up a job at a grocery store to help Mom pay bills. Nora was 12 and never had to lift a finger. That dynamic never changed. I'm 34 now. I work as a project manager for a construction firm. I make good money. Nora is 30, works part-time at a boutique, and has 2 kids she can barely afford. For the past 3 years, I've been paying Mom's mortgage, $1,340 a month. Mom went on disability after a back surgery, and her income couldn't cover it. I set up auto pay without being asked because the alternative was her losing the house. I also pay Nora's car insurance, $215 a month. She lost her coverage after an accident and couldn't get a new policy she could afford. I added her to mine, and I pay $400 a month toward Nora's older son's private school tuition because Mom begged me to. Give him a good education, and I agreed. Total, $1,955 a month, $23,460 a year. For 3 years, that's over $70,000. Nobody at that Christmas table seemed to remember any of it. The dinner was at Mom's house. I brought a dish like I always do, green bean casserole. I set it on the table and sat down. Nora was across from me with her 2 boys, ages 8 and 5. Her boyfriend Cliff was next to her. Mom was at the head of the table. Everything seemed fine until Nora's oldest, Jalen, shoved his plate across the table toward me and said, "Mom says you should serve, not eat." The table went quiet for half a second. Then Cliff laughed. Then Nora smirked. Then Mom chuckled and said, "Kids say the funniest things." I looked at Nora. "Did you tell him to say that?" She shrugged. "He's 8. He picks things up." He didn't pick that up. He repeated it. "Did you tell your son I should be serving instead of eating?" "Relax. It's Christmas." I stood up. I picked up my coat from the back of the chair. I picked up my casserole dish, and I walked out. Nobody followed me. Nobody called after me. I heard Cliff say, "She'll be back," as I shut the front door. I drove home. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just drove. At 9:47 p.m., Mom texted, "You embarrassed your sister in front of her kids. You ruined Christmas. Do us all a favor and stay away until you learn how to take a joke." I read it 3 times. Then I typed my response. "Understood. I'll stay away. The mortgage auto pay ends tomorrow. Car insurance canceled at end of billing cycle. Tuition payments stop in January. Merry Christmas." I turned off my phone and went to bed. By the time I turned it on the next morning, the screen was full. 61 missed calls, 34 text messages. "Mom, that's not what I meant and you know it." Nora, "You can't just cancel my insurance. I need my car for work." Cliff, "This is petty and you know it." Mom again, "Please call me. We need to talk about the mortgage." Nora again, "Jalen didn't mean anything by it. He's a child." I responded to Mom only. "You told me to stay away. I'm staying away. That includes my money. I've paid $70,000 over 3 years and I got told to serve instead of eat at a table in the house I'm keeping afloat. I'm done." Monday, I called the bank, canceled the mortgage auto pay, called the insurance company, removed Nora's vehicle with standard notice, called the school, informed them January's tuition would be the last payment from me and they'd need to contact the parents directly. Every cancellation confirmed by email. Nora called Tuesday. The school sent a letter about tuition. "They need to hear from you or Cliff now. We can't afford it." I couldn't afford to be humiliated at Christmas dinner after paying $70,000 to keep your life running. Jalen is 8, and you taught him to treat his aunt like a servant. That's not an age problem. That's a parenting problem. She hung up. Mom called Wednesday. She was crying. "The mortgage is due on the 1st. I know. I've been the one paying it for 3 years. I can't cover it alone." Then talk to Nora, or Cliff, or anyone else at that table who laughed when an 8-year-old told me to serve instead of eat. I shouldn't have sent that text. "No, you shouldn't have. Can we talk about this?" "There's nothing to talk about, Mom. I was paying nearly $2,000 a month to keep this family running, and in return, I got laughed at and told to stay away. So I'm staying away. All of me, including my paycheck." She asked if I'd reconsider after some time. I said maybe, but not until someone at that table says the words I haven't heard once in 3 years. "Thank you." It's been 5 weeks. Nobody has said it. Mom made a partial mortgage. Payment from savings. Nora switched to liability-only insurance. Jalen is transferring to public school next month. Cliff hasn't called again. The casserole dish is still in my car. I keep forgetting to bring it inside. Or maybe I don't want to. It reminds me of the last meal I brought to a table where I wasn't welcome. I won't bring another one until someone sets me a plate instead of pushing one at me.